Right, 31 July 2024, and today we are ending the day with quite a lot of sad news. This day is not turning out the way that we expected, and I'm going to be giving you an update on a number of things that have happened today. And I want us to start with what has happened this afternoon, which is the abduction by Zimbabwe State Security of 4 activists. And these activists were taken from an aeroplane, or they were abducted from an aeroplane. And you can see the pictures here of the abduction taking place at the Robert Mugabe International Airport this afternoon. These pictures that you're watching are showing 4 activists from Zimbabwe. And these are Samuel Gwenzi, Namatai Kwekweza, Robson Chere, and Vusumuzi Moyo. So according to reports, these guys were going to attend a conference in Victoria Falls. And it is very strange that these guys were abducted, because this conference was being attended by a lot of people, including people in government. So I do not understand why they were abducted and what was the reason behind the abduction. And so far, no one knows where they are. The Minister of Information, Jennifer Nuswere, has just given a strange and incoherent statement about what's happening with these 4. So he did not say what is happening. He just went on and on about machinations. And this is crazy. I cannot understand how someone can talk about machinations instead of talking about where the people that were abducted are. So there's a great deal of concern about the fate of the 4. That is Robson Chere, who is the Secretary General of the Teachers Union, Samuel Gwenzi, who is the Councillor of the CCC, Vusumuzi Moyo, and Namatai Kwekweza, who are activists. So these 4 are still missing, and the Zimbabwe government has not given a statement as to where they've gone, what has happened to them. So we continue to look out for them. And I understand that the government of Mnangagwa wants to make these people sleep inside jail as a way of intimidating people who plan to protest. And so let's keep watching. I don't want to say more because we don't know what is happening. There's a lot of speculation going on about where they are. But all we know is this is the last picture that was taken from the aeroplane at the Robert Mugabe International Airport as the activists were being dragged from the aeroplane. You can see that they're being taken out together with their luggage. So they had already passed through the clearances, the airport clearances, and then they were taken back from the aeroplane into Zimbabwe. And I do not know where exactly they were taken to in Harare. And as I said, Jennifer Nuswere, less than 10 minutes ago, has given a statement about machinations, but he did not say who is doing the machinations, which diplomat. He says something about the diplomat being involved, but he does not say which diplomat, and he did not mention these activists by name. So I do not know exactly what is the whole story behind this abduction, but this is very concerning. Now, let me quickly go through to the activists. Nelson Chamisa has issued a statement on the abducted activists, and he says toxic, oppressive politics tarnishes the image of a country. In the whole of SADC and in Africa, Zimbabwe is leading for the wrong reasons and is notorious for intolerance and repressive politics. This is so embarrassing and must stop. Stop this nonsense. What a national shame. Release these political prisoners. So that was Nelson Chamisa, and this statement was issued in the morning. However, I've got very bad news. The court case has been heard, and the application to dismiss the charges has been denied. So the guys are going to stay in jail, and the court case is going to continue until Friday. I hope that there is a bit of light at the end of the tunnel on Friday, but I'm starting to think that there is a deliberate attempt to make sure that these guys don't come out, and SADC is quiet. All the guys at SADC, they're quiet. all the funders who are watching all this happening are quiet, and they're in Zimbabwe. They're not making any demands. The only embassy that is gone to Mnangagwa's office today is the embassy of France, and I hope that they've said something about this crazy situation that we're watching in Zimbabwe, where people are just being arrested, they're being kept in jail. So the approach these guys are using is they arrest people, they keep them locked up on technicalities, and they don't take them to trial. And we have got over 1,000 people right now who are in jail. I'm talking here about the 78 activists, over 250 money changers. They've been in jail for the past 3 or so months without trial. And then there's over 600 touts across the country, which makes about 1,000 people. And we've added these 4. I hope that they're not put in detention, because it means they are keeping so many people arrested, and these people don't go to trial. The magistrates and the judges, they keep pushing forward the trial for some unknown reasons, and these people are staying in jail without being tried. So this is crazy. This is what is happening all over the country of Zimbabwe. I then want to go to the strange situation that has happened today, where Mnangagwa has opened the SADC Industrialization Week. As you know, the same Industrialization Week was opened by General Chiwenga on Monday. And this means this thing has been opened twice, once by Chiwenga, and then today by Mnangagwa. I would have thought Mnangagwa would let Chiwenga open this thing because it's an Industrialization Week, and then he would do the bigger opening of the SADC summit. But Mnangagwa wants to be in this whole thing. He doesn't want to leave Chiwenga to do anything. And according to my intelligence sources, the reason why the arrests are happening, especially this recent arrest, is to draw attention away from something much bigger that is happening. So let's keep watching. There is a lot that's happening under the radar, things that we don't know. Let's see what happens and what comes out within the next few weeks. There is a lot that is happening, and we'll see everything coming out, and we'll see what has been happening, what is being covered up by Mnangagwa and his government. So let me recap. 4 activists have been arrested, or in fact, they've been dragged from an aeroplane this afternoon. And you can see the picture that was taken here by people that were in the plane. They were on their way to Victoria Falls, where they were attending a conference that was also being attended by a lot of other people, including government officials. So this has got nothing to do with the conference. It's something to do with something else. And Jennifer Nuswere, the Minister of Information, has just came out less than an hour ago saying something about machinations and about an ambassador being involved. But he did not explain which ambassador and what are the machinations. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take out that video for you within the next few minutes. Then you can have a look and maybe try to figure out what he's trying to say. I do not understand what this arrest or this detention is all about, why it's being so secretive, why these guys have been held since afternoon without any update, without any information. And so it's very, very concerning what is happening in Zimbabwe. But what is more concerning to me is the silence of organizations like SADC, the European Union, UNIDO, COMESA, all these organizations that are currently sitting in Zimbabwe right now, having the SADC Industrialization Week, sitting there quietly and doing nothing as the arrests continue. I want to quickly look at the comments. Gambakwe, why do you report about bad news for your country? Please promote our beautiful country instead of talking about bad things daily. Right, Ngoma Martin, let me explain to you what is wrong. You cannot arrest 78 activists and keep them in jail for 44 days, and then arrest 4 guys today and keep them in jail for no reason, and expect me not to support, to report good about our country. Zimbabwe is a banana republic under Mnangagwa. Mnangagwa became one of the worst presidents in SADC. I don't even know what to say about Mnangagwa right now. His behavior is so crazy and out of this world that even other presidents of African countries have boycotted SADC. I've been explaining to you here that South Africa, Namibia, Angola, all these countries, they don't want anything to do with this event. Zambia, they don't want anything to do with this event. If you were watching today's address by Mnangagwa, it was boycotted by almost every African country. Only Zimbabwean ministers and people like that were present. Mnangagwa has lost respect among all African leaders, and especially in SADC. So let's see what happens after this arrest. This is very crazy. And then Mkoma Mbuso Mhlanga says, Gambakwe, you have to think twice about the Zim trip. You are next inside. Trust me. Mkoma, I'm not going to be arrested. I'm going to travel on the 16th, which means within the next 15 days, I'll be in Zimbabwe. I've not committed any crime. So let's see if I'm arrested, what it's all about. Remember, being arrested, it doesn't mean you can't be arrested. Right now, where you are, you can be arrested. So what is it that you're going to be arrested for? Let's see what happens. And what's so special about me when everyone else is in jail? So that is the fear we want to stop. We don't want people who are afraid. So that is crazy, crazy. I don't agree with what's happening right now in Zimbabwe. Then let's look at other comments here. Mkoma Temba, thank you very much and good evening to you all. So guys, let's bring this to an end. I'll try to find out more information overnight. But what I will do is within the next 10 or so minutes, I'll produce the statement by Jennifer Nuswere. It's a rambling statement, which is crazy and incoherent. He does not explain why these guys were arrested, but he's speaking about machinations and about an ambassador. So let's see what he's talking about. But I know that whatever they're doing, the abduction of these people, this is the last days of Mnangagwa. The last days of Mnangagwa are going to be very painful. And as I explained to you, you can't have fresh elections without something big happening. So if you're in Zimbabwe, you must expect some very big events coming. And unfortunately, there is going to be some violence involved. That is what I can say here. You cannot have a transitional system from Norway. And you all know that we're going to a transitional system. The ZIG is collapsing, the economy is collapsing, and Mnangagwa has lost all credibility in Zimbabwe and outside Zimbabwe. He is clutching on straws. And this action of Mnangagwa right now, what he's doing right now is to deflect attention from something very, very big that is happening. And let's see what that thing is. And let's see what happens within the next 3 weeks. Very important 3 weeks that are going into the post-SADC summit is going to be important because there are people that have been waiting to see what will happen at summit. Are people going to protest? Is Mnangagwa going to be pushed out? And it's becoming very clear that these guys are willing to shoot to kill, even in the presence of SADC officials and in the presence of presidents of other countries. So let's see what happens. But you have to watch this space. It's going to be a very difficult period for Zimbabwe where we're going. And the arrest and intimidation is going to be continuing. I said this last week, especially if you live in the high density areas of Harare, try to stay indoors at night. There's going to be a lot of intimidation taking place within the next week or so, leading up to SADC summit. And also the vendors, you've seen that they've warned the vendors, and you've seen the movement of military trucks this week. So I'm going to leave it here. Let's watch and let's recap. As I said, these guys are going to be in jail. The case has been withdrawn. They have been dismissed. So the case was dismissed and the trial is going on. And I hope that they don't get a long jail sentence. But this is what is happening. All this in front of SADC. They don't care. Mnangagwa doesn't care about SADC at all. So thank you very much, everyone, for watching. And I'll see you at 5 a.m. as we give you the news update in the mornings. Thank you very much and a good night to you.